on crime scenes, filming it, looking for clues and investigating in these areas, and potentially contaminating crime scenes, as well as bringing exposure to these cases that need the exposure. That combined with AI and what AI can do, plus, you know, other technology things that are going on. What do you see the future? How do you see this changing investigations? How do you see this affecting cases in court? How do you see these things playing out?
Do you foresee some of these streamers and some of these true crime sleuths like us being ever called into question on court on a video that they've put out? Something like that. Could you see that happening?
I could see that the court may want to see their video. I could see that happening.
Okay. You have to trying to bring awareness to a case. I applaud, but some of these sleuths, you have to. It's a delicate balance between, I guess, what Greg is saying, between awareness and being a hindrance to the case. You don't want to hurt the case.
Mike, specifically, if you think about these guys that are like vigilantes that go after, and I'm in the child abuse unit now, and I'm dealing with individuals that are possessing child pornography or meeting kids. Well, these guys that, if you watch, they've seen on the news, they go out and they capture these guys, they confront them, and they know that they're trying to talk to a minor, and they do everything to get at this guy. They may even beat him up, whatever the case, or identify him. But it's it's a disadvantage for us, because you're possibly giving the suspect a chance to destroy whatever evidence he did have, and you're kind of interfering in an actual investigation. How do you know that that law enforcement hasn't already started or is in the middle of an investigation? They mean well, but the problem is you're going to hurt cases, and guys are going to get off because of it.
Some of their outrage could be put to legislation and complaining to some of the laws that allow these things to happen, versus actually dragging them out of their house under the guise of, you want a Corvette, come on out and we're going to take you to see this Corvette. And I've seen that actually play out, the Corvette scam. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
I did
but
not.
You had talked about, as long as we're on the true crime sleuths and the true crime community, in that season 1, episode 3 that we talked about, a son comes and you're walking him around the crime scene, and this is less than 24 hours after his father is unalived, and he begins to describe and walk around, and you can see this in season 1, episode 3, how the case unfolded in his eyes. And you kind of give him the Philly side eye as he's doing this. I'm watching him by. You're giving him the Philly side eye, like, and he's talking about that this thing happened under a minute, and he was overtaken. He's not a big guy. It had to be quick, and it had to be under a minute. And this is where he came out, and this is where he left, and coming up with all these factual things in this episode. And anybody can watch it. It's season 1, episode 3 of Philly Homicide. But did that change? Well, I mean, you can take it from there, Dave and Chris, how his words actually turned out to be not so crazy.
Yeah. I was assigned to stay with the family. I knew the family. I knew, you're talking about Kurt, who's the son of Dr. Sauer.
Yes.
And the time that I spent with them, and we're kind of talking off subject, one of the things that he came up with was his theory of how this happened. And I allowed him to talk and vent about it. And it got to a point where when he said, oh, whoever did this did it in less than a minute. And I look at him like, well, why? And it just gave you that, like, wait, he knows. And they had to have hit him with some blunt object. And I'm like, I don't know. So the investigators who had the case, I went and I said, hey, you may want to talk to Kurt. I think he knows and seems to know a lot more than what we know. And ironically, if you watch the episode, we find out that it took 53 seconds for O'Boyle to go in the house, kill Dr. Sao, and come out. How was Kurt that? And he's smart. He's a very smart kid. And I say kid, he's a school teacher, but super smart. But he's a big true crime guy. So.
And that's the first time that it was in your face, in your investigation, really in your face, that these true crime people and the community that's watching us right now, and our followers, Tat's followers, Greg's followers on True Crimes Live, and mine, would like that validation that we're not all crazy, you know?
He was on point. He was completely on point.
Very intuitive. Yes.
Greg, you wanted to ask a question, and Tats, I would love you to chime in about the other part of the true crime sleuths that's home and psychics. We want to know about all these people that are psychics. Greg, I know you had a question that you wanted to ask him about psychics and mediums regarding a missing person or even just solving a case.
Yeah, because you see it on social media all the time. There's a lot of psychics and mediums, discussing these cases in the true crime community. And I just want to know the reality of, are they being used really in law enforcement to help on cases? Are they not being used? How do you find them? Do you know what I mean?
They find us.
I was going to say that Dave and I both have an experience with that. Go ahead.
No, I immediately looked at you because Lindsay, who
Yes.
went missing up at Tyler State Park, I had a medium call me, and she's like, I need to talk to you. I know where this girl is. And I'm like, I didn't want to be that guy that says, nah, you're crazy.
Right.
And I'll tell you my exact experience. I met with this woman at the park. The park's divided into sections, and one of them was the lower plantation area, and it's called that on the map. So this woman meets me. I shake her hand. I'm like, hey, thank you for your help. And she breaks out a map. She takes out a little string with this stone, holds it over the map, and as she held it, she goes, no, she's not here. No, she's not here. No, she's not here. And she goes through it. She gets to a section where the stone stays completely stationary, and I'm like, is this for real? She goes, I know her initials. I can see it's an LP, and I'm like, yeah, she could have read and saw that this girl's missing.